34-year-old Adam Howell is accused of murdering his mother, 70-year-old Susan Howell, after first responders found a body set on fire outside the Truro, Massachusetts home they shared. Authorities said they responded to the home at around 9:30 p.m. on the 30th of September, after family members requested a welfare check on Susan and a separate report from a neighbour of a fire at her home. It's reported that Adam was a heroin addict and had been living with his mother, and she had been on the verge of kicking him out due to his drug use. When first responders arrived, they found a man outside the house and a fire blazing on the front lawn. As emergency personnel realised it was a body that was burning, the male subject ran into the house and locked the door. The Cape Cod Regional SWAT team then responded and eventually entered the home and placed Adam under arrest and charged him with murder. He'll be evaluated by mental health professionals following information that authorities obtained from family members. The investigation into the matter continues. 53-year-old Frederick Montana of Russellville, Alabama is behind bars after being accused of acting inappropriately towards a child in his family, just weeks after being released from prison for similar offences. According to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, some of Frederick's family members confronted him about allegedly having sexual contact with a toddler relative. He reportedly admitted to it and apologised to his family. The toddler was taken to a local hospital for examination. Franklin County Department of Human Resources was contacted and assisted in the investigation. On the 25th of September, the authorities went to a tent Frederick was living in, near Highway 724 and Highway 83 to speak with him, but he reportedly fled. Deputies caught up with him and tased him, and he was taken into custody. One officer received minor injuries during the arrest. Frederick is charged with sexual abuse of a child less than 12 years of age, resisting arrest, and attempting to elude. He's held at the Franklin County Jail with bond set at $50,000. Frederick was recently released from a Florida prison in August this year for charges that relate to lewd assault on a victim under 16, molestation of a victim under 12, kidnapping to commit a felony, sexual battery, and failing to register as a sex offender. On the 23rd of September, 44-year-old Timothy Heller was sentenced to life in prison for the fatal bashing of his 36-year-old girlfriend Lacey Krug last year. Lacey was found unresponsive in a St. Paul, Minnesota home on the 21st of February 2021. Police were initially called to the home for an overdose, but noticed that Lacey appeared to have been assaulted. Witnesses reported that Lacey had consumed controlled substances before becoming unresponsive. She did not regain consciousness and was pronounced dead. Witnesses told the authorities that Lacey had been dropped off at the residence on the evening of the 20th of February after she'd been severely beaten by a boyfriend at a residence they shared. According to the authorities, Timothy did not have a permanent address when homeowners invited him to stay at a house in the 7500 block of Brunswick Avenue in Brooklyn Park from respite from the cold weather in February of 2021. While he was at the home, Timothy asked if his girlfriend could stay with him, which owners allowed. On the 20th of February 2021, the homeowners told Timothy and Lacey that they needed to leave the next day. Later that day, the homeowners noticed that Lacey had 2 black eyes, multiple lacerations, and extensive swelling to her face. After Lacey said that Timothy had beaten her, one of the homeowners began fighting Timothy, who ran from the home. The homeowners tried to convince Lacey to go to a hospital, but she refused. She instead asked them to take her to a home on the 1500 block of Jackson Street, near Hoyt Avenue in St. Paul. At home, Lacey met with some friends who also saw her injuries and tried to get her to get checked at a hospital, but again she declined. Later, Lacey started developing stomach pain and lost consciousness. Her friends called the paramedics, but Lacey never regained consciousness and she was pronounced dead. The medical examiner found numerous injuries on Lacey's body, including signs of strangulation, but a cause of death was a ruptured stomach, which resulted in acute peritonitis. Investigators executed a search warrant of the bedroom Timothy and Lacey had been staying in and found blood and a large dent in the drywall. Timothy was arrested in St. Paul the following day. While he denied being responsible for Lacey's death, he admitted to punching her in the face and causing other injuries. Without being told about the victim's abdominal injuries, Timothy told police that Lacey had been assaulted weeks earlier by another boyfriend who had stomped on her stomach. He was charged with domestic abuse and murder, which he was found guilty of on the 9th of September, and he was sentenced to life in prison on the 23rd of September. He won't be eligible for parole for 30 years. Timothy has 3 prior convictions for assault, 5 violations of order for protection or no contact orders, and 3 domestic assault convictions.